Good morning. We have already studied something about significant figures, order of magnitude, and we have seen that how we take the error analysis. Today, one of the most interesting thing is that is also the last topic of the chapter is dimensional analysis. It is dimensional analysis. Now, when we say dimensions, then we have to know what is dimension in fact. You know, every physical quantity, any derived physical quantity, not any physical, but rather derived physical quantity, can be expressed in terms of fundamental quantities. Very simple. And suppose we write force. Force equal to acceleration into mass, or mass into acceleration. Mass is a physical quantity, it takes some space, and acceleration, it also takes some space. That gives us many letters there. But if we just write everything in a symbolic way, then even the bigger or very big formula can also be expressed in a very smaller way. That is dimensional formula. Okay, that means we can very easily say that all the seven fundamental quantities are written in terms of certain symbols, and in terms of certain symbols, and those symbols are slightly different from their corresponding physical symbols. They are almost same, but a slight difference is there. And if we write those symbols within this square bracket, that makes a dimension of that symbol. Okay. Now, if we write any physical quantity, if we write the formula of any physical quantity in terms of all these dimensional symbols, then that makes it as dimensional formula. Okay, let me start first the fundamental quantity dimensional symbol. First we write length. Length is written by L. Okay. Next we write mass. It is written by M. With this capital bracket or square bracket. Next we write time. Time is written by ST. Then we write temperature. It is written by Kelvin. Then we write electric current. It is written by A. Luminous intensity. It is written by candela, CD. Amount of matter or substance. We write it more. If any physical quantity is expressed in terms of such dimensional symbol, that makes it a dimensional formula. Very simple. Okay. In any dimensional formula, remember, in any dimensional formula, there may be some power, say L square, M cube, like this. All such powers or such exponents are called dimensions. Okay. Now, if I say that is what is the dimension of say force, the dimensional formula of force is mLT minus 2. We write the dimensional force of the dimensions of force are comma. What we write, that is dimension of mass is 1, dimension of length is 1, and dimension of time is -2. That is power. Their powers are in fact our dimensions. Therefore, before we know this, we have to discuss how to make a dimensional formula. How to make a dimensional formula. Okay. Now here, how to write? First we have to mention what is the physical formula of that particular physical quantity. Suppose we want to determine the dimensional formula of density. Density equal to what we write, mass upon volume. Okay, that is mass upon length into breadth into height. Remember, length is length, breadth is also a length, and height is also another length. Clear? Then we write dimensional formula of density. Dimensional symbol of mass is m. Dimensional symbol of length is L. Breadth is also length, and this is also length. Ultimately, we have m upon L cube, or NL minus 3. This is in fact the dimensional formula of this density, and this is the way to derive a dimensional formula. Remember, I am not saying anything new, but here I am just representing a given formula in terms of dimensional symbol. Then if anybody say what is dimensional formula, very simple. Number one, a derived quantity can be represented in terms of fundamental quantities. Number one. Number two is each fundamental quantity is denoted by certain dimensional symbol. Number three, if we write the physical formula of a given symbol, a given quantity in terms of dimensional symbol, then we may have this dimensional formula. Okay. Now here we say in the dimensional formula of density, dimension of mass, how much? It is 1, and the power 1 is there. Dimension of time equal to minus 2. Okay, that means the term dimension means the power of a physical quantity or power of a dimensional symbol or the exponents of dimensional symbol, and that represent the combination of such dimensional symbols with the dimensions. We make it as a dimensional formula which we generate like this. There are so many physical quantities, so many derived quantities, whether that is, we are discussing the general physics, we are discussing the thermal physics, we are discussing about the electricity, we are discussing about magnetism, etc., etc. Each physical quantity has some representation in dimensions. From time to time, from first chapter onwards, when you study different chapters, you will definitely encounter with many new physical quantities, and corresponding to which you can also able to know some of the dimensional formula. Just for your convenience, I am giving examples of some of the dimensional formula only. I won't write long tables because they are already available in the book, or even in my notes you can get. Okay. Dimensional formulae for some physical quantities. Serial number, physical quantity, physical equation, dimensional equation. First we write, say, area. It is equal to length into breadth, and here we write dimensional formula is L into L means L square. Okay, this can also be written like M0 L square T0, because rest of the powers are 0. We can write according to our own convenience. Next is, say, speed. We write distance or displacement upon time. If we write velocity, then displacement upon time, otherwise distance upon time. Here we write L upon time. LT minus 1. Suppose we write momentum. We write M into V, mass into velocity, and velocity equal to S upon T. Therefore, its corresponding dimensional formula will be M L T minus 1. There are so many things, like if we write power equal to work upon time. What is work? Work equal to your energy. Dimension of energy same as work. Okay, and suppose we write fourth one as say specific heat. Okay, now it is specific heat. Remember, you know the formula that Q equal to M as delta theta. Okay, this is a formula. In previous class or even in thermal physics you will study. M is mass, S is specific heat, and delta theta is temperature. And therefore S must be equal to Q upon M delta theta. Here also we write this as Q upon M delta theta, or even we write just theta, because it is immaterial we write delta or not. Dimension has no role to play in discussing this delta term or any constant term, even if that is attached. Here energy, Q means heat or energy, its dimension is mL square T minus 2. Mass is just M, and temperature is Kelvin. And ultimately we let the mm cancel out. L square T minus 2 K minus 1 is the dimensional formula of this specific heat. Similarly, suppose we have electric charge. It could be equal to current into time, and you know the dimension of current is A and time is T. We write AT as the dimensional formula of your this term, that is electric charge. And from electric charge you can find out electric potential. From electric potential you can find electric resistance. Everywhere different type of physical quantities can be derived. Okay, there is indefinite number, a large number of infinite. I won't use the term infinite, but a very large number of researches are taking place daily, and therefore large number of physical quantities are determined or they are derived in day-to-day physics, and therefore there is a long table that can be formed that you can get either in the book or the note. But I am basically I am taking some of the physical quantity from general physics, some from this heat, thermal physics, and some from your electrostatics. Okay. Now after this, after knowing this dimensional formula and how to make dimensional expressions, let me discuss something that is very relevant in our day-to-day life. Is that where these dimensions are actually used? Well, when you say what are the merits and demerits of dimensions, very simple. It is a very common question. You can very easily say. When we say merits, it is the application. We use dimension in various forms. When we write demerits, it means the limitations. That it is the limitation beyond which we cannot expect, that we cannot do dimensional analysis beyond certain limit. They are the limitations. Okay. And here first we discuss the plus point, that is the merit. In the merit part we take applications. Of dimensional analysis. Okay, the first application is to convert one system of unit into another. Okay, another system. That is, suppose you have to express your physical quantity in SI unit, okay, and you would like to convert it in say CGS unit, okay. Sometimes we specifically write other than CGS unit system also. Suppose in a system where we take length in centimeter and mass in gram and time in second, it is CGS. If I have a new system, although they are not applicable in your day-to-day physics, but suppose we may assume from our side, say mass taken in milligram, time taken in nanosecond, and also the length taken in centimeter. If we have to have this type of situation, then naturally a new system of units will be there and we can change. But that will be quite complicated right now. Just to make it easy, to make it simple, we have to know how to convert one system of unit into another. Okay, this is one of the most important applications of dimension. Well, here first we write the dimension. First step is to write the dimensional formula of a physical quantity. ओके, ये पहला स्टेप होगा, फिजिकल क्वांटिटी का हमको फॉर्मूला लिखना होगा. ठीक. दूसरा क्या है कि वी राइट द न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू of the physical quantity in first system. Okay, so that the numerical value in second system we have to find. Second system we have to find, and then we use a formula n1 u1 equal to n2 u2 like this. Clear? The n1 is the numerical value of numerical value in first system of unit, and n2 that we have to find out. u1 is the dimensional formula in first unit system, and u2 is the dimensional formula of second unit system. Okay, just to understand this particular formula, this particular method, let me take an example. Let x equal to dimension of x equal to m to the power a, l to the power b, and t to the power c. Then according to this particular formula, this is the general dimension, the dimensional formula of x. Then we have n1, m1a, l1b, and t1c, n2, m2a, l2b, and t2c. After that, we have to replace this m, l, t in the respective unit system. Suppose the first n1 is given in mk system, and n2 we have to find in cj system. Therefore mk system के जो भी m l और t है वो यहाँ रखेंगे. We have to put all the values of m, l, and t in this equation, and the same way we have to put the corresponding corresponding units of cj system here. जैसे मान लो यहाँ पर किलोग्राम, यहाँ पर मीटर, यहाँ पर सेकंड रखा है, यहाँ पर हम क्या रखेंगे ग्राम, यहाँ पर सेंटीमीटर, यहाँ पर सेकंड. ठीक है, जैसे सिस्टम है. तो इसके लिए सपोज वी हैव टू टेक a real numerical problem where it is written question: convert g equal to 9.8 meter per second square to CGS system by dimensional process. Okay, suppose we have this formula, this numerical. First we write solution. First we write dimension of G, LT minus 2. Then according to that formula, N1 U1 equal to N2 U2. N1 is 9.8, U1 is your L1 T1 minus 2, and N2 we don't know, we have to find L2 T2 minus 2, like this. Okay, now we put the corresponding unit system of first 9.8, it is meter second minus 2, N2 we don't know, here we write centimeter and second minus 2, second cancel out, and here this meter is converted into centimeter, and 2 centimeter second minus 2, rest of the thing they cancel out. Ultimately we are left with N2 equals to 9.8 into 100, that is 980. Okay, therefore the net value of G, therefore G in CGS equal to 980 centimeter per second square. Here we have to write the unit. Here it is only numerical value. Here it is the complete value. This is our answer. You can have many other numerical there in the book where you can solve, and you will enjoy while solving this. This was your first applications. Now, second application is to check a given expression or equation. Here, one thing we have to remember, that dimension of left hand side must be equal to dimension of right hand side. Okay, that means this type of thing has some another name also. To check a given expression, we write this thing. Okay, this is the method of finding this, but this is also associated with some law or some theorem. What we call it is called as theory of or principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. According to the principle of homogeneity, in any dimensional formula, the dimension of left hand side must be equal to dimension of each term of right hand side. Suppose dimension of right in any formula we have two terms in the right hand side. Say v equal to u plus 80. U is one term on right hand side and 80 is another term on right hand side. Okay, we write v square equal to u square plus 2as. Here v square is on left hand side. Okay, and u square is first term on right hand side, and 2as is the second term of right hand side. Then how to check? To check a given expression or given equation by means of dimensional analysis, we do it in a very simpler way, in a very systematic way. We first write the dimension of, suppose we take v square equal to u square plus 2as. We write dimension of left hand side l square t minus 2. You know v is lt minus 1, square is this much. Dimension of first term of right hand side, again l square t minus 2. Clear? Now dimension of second term of right hand side, dimension of a is lt minus 2 and s is again l. We get ultimately the same thing. You can see that principle of homogeneity is proved here, and in that way we can say that dimension of left hand side is same as dimension of each term of right hand side. Okay, by chance, suppose we write something wrong. If I write a equation like this, v square equal to u plus 2as, then naturally this will not be like this. It will be lt minus 1. Here we cannot have the principle of homogeneity, because one term has the dimension of left hand side but second term is not. Therefore, in that case, equation will be incorrect. Clear? Okay. Now come to the third application. Here to derive an expression. Here we have to, it is also called as formulation part. Here suppose we say A is proportional to B and C. We say, the how to write the equation for A? We write A equal to K B to the power say m and c to the power n. Then we find the dimension of left hand side and dimension of right hand side. Okay. Once we get this dimension of right hand side, what we get? We again use the principle of homogeneity and to get the values of m and n, then finally we get the approximate expression or relationship between A, B and C. Okay. For example, we can take some example like we say time is proportional to, time depends on length and g. Okay, then what we write? T equal to k times L to the power A and g to the power B. Remember, this is time period and this is your length and this is your acceleration due to gravity. Here, and why? What we write? We write here T as T to the power 1. Dimension, principle of homogeneity means dimension of left hand side equal to dimension of right hand side, that is T. Here we write L to the power A and L T minus 2 to the power B. L to the power A plus B and T to the power minus 2B. There is no L, so we write L equal to 0 and T1 equal to L to the power A plus B, T to the power minus 2B. Clear? Here, after this, we compare A plus B equal to 0 and minus 2B equals to 1, implies that B equals to minus half, and when we put it, it comes out to be plus half. Therefore, equation becomes T equal to under root L by G. Maybe this equation is not absolutely correct because we have to have some constant. That constant of proportionality must also be there. That cannot be determined. This is how we get different type of formulation or we generate different formula by means of this dimension process. We have seen three applications. Number one, to convert from one system of unit to other system of unit, and second, to check a given equation, the correctness of given equation, whether the equation is correct or not, by using the principle of homogeneity. And third one is to formulate or to find or to derive an expression by using dimension formula. Now, if anyone say, what are the limitations? Only few things are limitations there. Limitation. Number one, dimension method cannot be solved for trigonometric or logarithms. Trigonometric or logarithm quantity. Okay. Number two, logarithm not quantity but terms, logarithm terms. Any terms, any physical equation in terms of trigonometric function or logarithms we cannot solve. Number two, when we have the principal, a constant, say f equal to some constant m, a, b, l, b and t, c, like this type of thing is there. This constant cannot be identified, cannot be explained on the basis of dimensional formula. Okay. And number three, in this regard, is any physical formulation by dimensional method cannot depend on more than 3 quantities. Okay, that is a physical quantity, and using a dimensional formula. Suppose we have to derive a dimensional formula where 4 physical quantities are there. That is very difficult to in fact present there, very difficult to express that by using dimensional method. But in the same way, if we write a dimensional formula of say t equal to k into under root L by g, that k cannot be specified. The constant of proportionality cannot be specified. Number 3, no trigonometric function. Suppose we write y equal to a sine omega t. This is our equation. Okay, y equal to a sine omega t. Y is displacement, a is amplitude. This sine omega t term cannot be explained by trigonometric method. Or if we write anything where some log x is there, okay, we write some function, so x square y equal to x square into log x. This type of function, this type of expression cannot be solved by means of this trigonometric, by means of dimensional formula. Therefore, these are the limitations, okay, or drawbacks of dimensional formula. This is all about the chapter. That is, we have finished the entire dimensional analysis, and you can just go through the notes. There you can get definitely a lot of things. उसको आप पढ़िए, देखिए और उससे आप समझने की कोशिश करें और नोट्स जरूर बनाएं. थैंक यू.